Anita Wilson isn't just a soul-stirring, award-winning gospel singer. She's an easygoing, lighthearted, all-around homegirl who recently took some time to hang out with OFFStage. OS joined an intimate gathering of supporters, which included a small group of both peers and fans at Atlanta's BMI office to celebrate Wilson's newest addition to her growing collection of inspirational hits.
All right, BMI, let's go.
Yes, sir. It was a straight-up praise party at BMI's Atlanta office where a crowd of 50 or more supporters rocked the fifth floor, jamming while at an exclusive sneak peek event for Anita Wilson's vintage worship album. I'm excited.
So
I'm
am I.
excited.
Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
No,
This is
thank
exciting.
you. Thank you for even allowing it, us to get a small glimpse into a day in the life of Anita Wilson.
My pleasure.
So we're here to listen to this release party.
Yes, well,
right?
it's a listening session.
Listening session.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a listening session, not to be confused with the official
Okay, so-
listening party. Just kind of boost the buzz about the album.
So tell us a little bit more about Anita, your background. Where you from?
I live in Chicago now, but I always rep the little city of East St. Louis, Illinois. I grew up there. I've been a pastor's daughter ever since I could remember. My dad is not only a preacher and pastor, but he's a singer and musician.
Okay.
So he was my first influence in music. I wasn't a problem child. I was just laid back, I did sing a little bit of jazz in high school. My voice began to develop because I think it's a natural talent. But I was in church singing Safe in His Arms with the dead eyes and looking horrible, So when I got in high school, I got in the jazz band, and that helped me to develop my stage presence and connect with the crowd and all of that, singing A-Train and My Funny Valentine and Misty and all that good stuff.
What was the very first song you sang in church?
The very first song I sang was called When All God's Children Get Together. What a time.
What a time.
When all God's children get together.
Right.
Yeah, yes. I was a little girl and I sang that verse. We had family concerts. So, my whole family would get a little dresses.
Yeah,
we thought
me
we
too.
thought we was a little Winans family in East St. Louis. I don't know what they were trying to do, but we did annual concerts, and my brother and I, at like 5 and 6, actually used to sing duets together, and I hated to sing. I did not like to sing.
Really?
Yes, I hated to sing. I was just over it, so I would fall asleep on purpose before it was my time.
So you wouldn't have to sing?
Yeah, and they
Nice.
wouldn't make the baby girl wake up. They'd be like, okay, go sing it by yourself. Your sister's asleep. So I just wasn't into it at that point.
Grammy nominated, Stellar nominated, New York Times, that's top 10.
Right.
Yeah, best album. Like,
Right. I definitely don't take it lightly. I'm not trying to be overly modest. I'm just not one to believe my own hype. We especially from church, we get a couple of compliments and we come in with our sunglasses and we think we made it and we killing the game. So I'm just a laid back girl, so I don't really believe my own hype and get caught up in thinking that it's something that it's not. But at the same time, I do really appreciate the nominations and the accolades that the album got.
The next album is called
Vintage Worship.
Vintage Worship.
Vintage Worship.
What is the concept of that?
The concept of that, it continues my story. Worship Soul, of course, merged worship and soul music. So I love great gospel music. So Vintage Worship is a big portrait of my influences from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What was then contemporary gospel. I grew up listening to Andre Crouch and the Hawkins and the Winans and the Clark Sisters and Mahalia Jackson, all the gospel greats.
Who did you work with on Worship Soul and the new?
You know what? Rick Robinson produced both projects. Rick Robinson is the writer of More Than Anything and Speechless and More of You for my first album. He's an amazing writer. and producer. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So he actually produced both of my albums. We wrote the majority of this music, as well as the first album, other than the 2 covers by James Cleveland and James Taylor on the first one. And then this album has a cover that was written by Angie Stone called Happy Being Me. I do have 4 collaborations. Bishop Yvette Flunder, who is the voice of Thank You, Lord, for all you've done, by the Hawkins, as well as Avery Sunshine. They're on a song with me. Yes, that's my homie. That's my sister. Yeah, so they did an amazing job on an arrangement of the hymn, Oh How I Love Jesus. Tommy Sims, who is an amazing artist and producer. Anisha Figueroa Cooper, who has sung with many artists, Kurt Franklin and Alicia Keys. I'm excited. I wanted to just kind of give a sneak leak listen to some of my friends and some people in the industry and some of the supporters in a small intimate session. Hey everybody! Thank you all for being here tonight. It really, really means a lot for you guys to just to be here.
I want you guys to continue to support gospel music. I so appreciate what gospel music does. It uplifts, it encourages you, it brings you through situations.
Every song is about a relationship with God, so I think that everybody can connect with it. Some of these songs that you guys will hear, it'll sound like something you've heard before, that's influence from here or there, but that's that bait that pulls the listener in.
70s, 80s, 90s music.
Yeah.
R&B and gospel.
We have to continue to buy physical product. Go to Walmart, go to Target, wherever it is. Don't bootleg people's stuff. Don't burn copies and give copies to your cousin. And you know, it's like going in somebody's house, getting food, and not being invited in. This new project is much of the same. It is such an amazing body of work. She stayed in her lane. She didn't chase the Clarks or anybody. She did Anita.
Throughout the night, both Anita and Rick echoed proud sentiments among the star-studded crowd of 50 or more supporters about the new project, Vintage Worship.
So not only are you going to hear Andre Crouch influence or Winans or Hawkins influence, but you'll also hear a little bit of Eddie Kendricks and Aretha Franklin and Chaka Khan influence. I know.
Y'all don't know. If y'all dig the song, please feel free to like tweet up about it, like tweet or Facebook or Instagram, whatever you do.
Right this moment, let's trend, kids. It's here.
What's the hashtag? What's the hashtag? What's the hashtag? Hashtag Vintage Worship. Okay, Vintage Worship.
Yeah, Vintage Worship. Yeah, it's funky. Whatever you want to say.
Reggie, let me get in. Where's my phone? I need to get in on this action.
So let's get into some music, y'all.
Without the lights, the glam, the hair, the
Man.
Everything. Like who are you? Because I feel like you that home girl I can ride out with.
I am. I'm very, very regular, very, very chill. When I don't have anywhere to be, I am not glammed up. I'm just chilling. I give myself permission to kind of just be a bum on the couch when I can. I just like to kind of hang out with friends, good people that I don't have to put on any faces with, just kind of be chill or go to the movies or hang out, do a little shopping and try new restaurants and new sushi and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very, very laid back. Reality TV is my guilty pleasure. Yeah, so.
Which one?
All the housewives, honey. Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, of course, just all of it. The new ones that are coming on, I can't even think of the names, but it's like, okay, I'm in. Let's do a little bit of a Perfect Love Song. I hear a melody inside my heart every time I begin to think of the way beautiful harmony to know that I am in love with you and you're in love with me. Oh, I lift my hands as a sign to say I love you from the bottom of my heart. I can't contain the way I feel inside. I sing this song to you. I don't know why you love me like you do, but in this tune I will worship you.
All right.
Perfect love song.
Rick sat down with me to talk more about he and Wilson's creative process, their winning artist-producer chemistry, and their vision for her newest release.
So Rick, man, what was the process like for this new project, Vintage Worship?
Anita and I spent a year prepping for this record. When she first came to me about the concept, definitely knew that we were going to need to put a lot of thought into the process in order to make it authentic. We wanted to do a record called Vintage Worship, but we didn't want it to sound too modern. So the first step of the process, I have a record collection of like over 1,000 records I inherited when my stepfather passed, and I got over 1,000 records in my collection. So I went through Aretha Franklin records, I went through Chaka Khan records, I went through Evelyn Champagne King, Eddie Kendricks, Earth, Wind & Fire, I mean all the 70s, 80s, yeah.
What is it like in the studio working with Anita?
Man, we've had some good days, and we've had some hills to climb. To be honest with you, we almost broke our friendship off with this recording. I mean, you know, when you get creative minds who are passionate about what they're doing, you know, every day is in warm days and sunny days. We had a lot of days where the synergy was perfect, and then there was some days where we were like really going off on each other. I remember one time she left me at the studio, and I rolled to the studio with her. So I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get home?
When I first heard Worship Soul, the first thing that stood out to me was the sound.
The sound
It was a signature sound.
Yeah.
It was something I hadn't heard. You know, prior.
Well, thank you.
So that's what first drew me in, and of course her voice. Like,
Anita's
that's
tone,
so rich in that
it's
tone,
definitely,
like her tone.
I'm sure if you ask her, she'll say that I can't do. She'll say I can't do all of the tricks and runs, and she respects the people who are able to do those things. But you know, I'm pretty sure she'll tell you herself that that's not her thing. Her thing is definitely owning her tone, which is to me just as good as any of the tricks and. You know, especially if she's singing the melody and executing the melody good.
How long have you guys been working together?
We've been knowing each other for some years. I've been calling for a lot of gigs, so when it came time for her to do her own record, it just felt organic for her to ask me to do it. I was honored that she asked me to do it.
Here at the ATL listening session, be in my office, we listen to Vintage Worship.
Put your hands together, yeah. Your hands together. When I was a kid, Leanne Dane and the Atomics used to say it like this. Say it for me, y'all. She is my water when I'm thirsty, y'all. Say, she is, he is my rocket when we're land.
This young lady right here. Y'all see that smile? Oh, it's sunshine. It's sunshine.
You're gonna make me get lipstick on my teeth. Calling so hard. I don't know what to do.
I think everything is 100% done in excellence. It's amazing. The musicianship, the vocals, everything, all of the songs, carefully chosen. 70s, it's vintage all the way.
Yeah, all the way.
All the way live, all the way authentic.
Avery Sunshine is actually on the new CD.
Yeah.
Anita Wilson. I already heard it. You guys, you know, a lot of people, I don't expect nothing different.
Oh, man.
It's great. How was that?
It was otherworldly. And I don't do a lot of collaborations because I'm always so, believe it or not, kind of shy about doing that, you know. But my sister was kind of adamant. She was like, look, you're going to do this song with me, and we're going to figure it out. And when I tell you, the I've listened to the song 3 times. The 3rd time was here. I could only listen to it twice. I listened to it with my mother, and we couldn't stop crying.
I've known Anita for a while from singing with Donald, and I've seen her progress, her maturation process, and I think it's really great. The first album was really, really good. I think this album is a graduation. It shows growth, it shows expansion, and I feel like it's really good.
You know, I love what I've heard so far. I love that it's fun. And it's not so serious that I kind of, you know, I can like get loose with it, and I like the music. Very reminiscent of some of the music that I grew up listening to.
Yeah,
and I can see listening to it in my car.
Ride out, whole summertime. Ride out.
So, you know, when I read the title of the album, I was like, I wonder what this could be. But now after listening to it, she's honestly taking the sound years back that we can relate to, 80s babies, 90s babies, like put it into a worship form that you can just relate to. It makes you want to groove a little bit.
Yeah, I was like bowing my head, and you know, she's moving on out.
Her sound is amazing.
This has got to be exciting for you guys. Her first project was Grammy nominated. You know, received all these accolades, and now that she's on her sophomore album, you know, how exciting is this for you guys?
We've been living with the record for a little bit now, and trying to figure out the singles. And anytime you're having battles internally in the company about what single goes first, that's a good thing. I think Anita has really established a niche inside of gospel, which is really worship soul, and vintage worship is kind of the natural progression to the next step in her career.
The album is absolutely bananas. Like, there is so much diversity on it. Like, she's doing, you know, her worship soul thing that we all know and love her for, but she's added some stuff, and Rick and her just have this crazy chemistry.
It should be that Blunder.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that name right off, but you know, we sing. We sing.
Oh, we know it. Come on.
Absolutely. You know, that's our offering song. Everybody sing tragedies. Come on, we gonna sing tragedies. Right. So I grew up listening to the Hawkins. I grew up listening to the Hawkins, so I connected even as a little girl with that heavy, raspy voice that she had. So it's such a beautiful full circle moment, very humbling moment that she consented to do this song on this album. So this is me, Avery, and Bishop Blunder. Thank you so much, Tracy. And this is an arrangement, excuse me, of the hymn, Oh How I Love Jesus. All right. So here we go. I'm ready, y'all.
To hear, I love to sing. It's a word. Love me. Oh, thank you, Lord. Hey, show me that you love me. You love me. You love me. You love me. Oh, you show me that. I'm so grateful that you love me when everybody else gave up on me. Oh, you love me.
I just appreciate the feedback, and if people liked it, it's kind of in a different lane, so I didn't know how it would be received. It's not super churchy, and it's not super contemporary either. It's just a fusion of that.
You know, I think you guys got like the perfect fusion for contemporary, church. Some jazz feel to me, you know. So I'm down with it.
Okay, all right, I like it. My approach is just to produce and release quality music. You know, you can't be like anyone else. You can't try to. I love it that it's just authentically me. That I don't have to step into a face. I don't have to step into my stage voice and turn into Anita. I'm just the same Anita I am here. It's just, you know, I go forth and I'm comfortable with the music. It's my own little space. So I'm grateful that people receive it.
That is vintage worship. That is Thank you. Thank y'all so much for coming. Do people still skate?
Oh yeah,
A skate party, you can do an official skate party in Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't have a skate. It's like still skating rinks.
Yes, are you kidding me? Atlanta is the official skate. Like, it's a little hot spot.
It's kind of this project, and you heard her amazing voice on there. So thank you. My sister from Donald Lawrence and Company. Yeah, she also made, she brought the food tonight, and she made Treacy treats for us. So there are some amazing little cupcakes. Y'all don't leave without a little cupcake praise. Mine is the key lime. Yeah. I got a couple blessings back there for you, so don't leave without going that room.
Treacy Pace. Y'all know the Pace, right? Y'all know it. Of the Anointed Pace Sisters. She's currently singing with Donald Lawrence and Company, right?
True. Just helping my sister out tonight with doing mini catering.
It's feel-good music with a message. I think that it will not only be, I pray that it'll be appreciated by the Sunday goers that are at church every Sunday worshiping and in the choir and things of that sort, but as well throughout the week, you know, your cousins and your people that will never go to church. You know, a lot of times we sing to one another, but I use this analogy, I don't need to tell my brother how amazing my daddy is. He grew up in the same house. He knows he knows my daddy is cool. So I think a lot of times we sing to each other, that other people that know that God is amazing. But this album, I think, is a tool to reach out and pull people in that won't really connect to Near the Cross, but it's a familiar, feel-good sound to them. But when they listen to it, it's a message about God's love, and it's a message about a relationship with God. It just takes a different approach.
What was that moment like when you first heard that your album, your first solo effort, was Grammy nominated?
I was like, me? Really? You know, it was just that dumb moment. You just feel all crazy, you're screaming and you can't believe it. But I was just so humbled and so grateful. And I try not to overthink it, because you don't want to go forward in new projects and try to outdo what you've done or get another nomination.
Right, I was going to ask you, like, so with this next project, are you feeling pressure to, you know?
I try not to I think it's a natural thing to kind of feel that pressure, but you try not to let yourself overthink that, because that wasn't in my head when I did Worship Soul. I just did what I felt. So I let myself be clear of that as well with Vintage Worship. And somebody said, how are you going to outdo Worship Soul? And I said, oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. Right. That's like, I look at them, I don't have any children, but I look at them as my babies. And like a mother, I would imagine with the second child, you don't try to be like, I'm going to make a better girl. Right. And I'm going to make a smarter girl. She's going to be better than the first one. It's just different. And that second baby brings something different to the table. So I'm just looking forward to that challenge. And I pray that people receive it and receive the difference and the uniqueness of this project, because music is vast, and the gospel music industry is, you know, somebody in the studio recording right now. People record all the time, and you have your pick of who you can support or who you can spend your money on. I'm grateful. I wear these words out, but I am humbled and grateful.
You leave me speechless. OFFStage. Take a load off, brother. Take a minute and ease your mind. Take a load off.
Vaughn Phoenix took home a Grammy for being the production brains behind the hit song Break Every Chain from praise and worship powerhouse Tasha Cobbs. He's also lent his talents to Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship International's One Sound album. Although he's done some pretty impressive work with a few big names, the buzz around his own brand of inspirational music is just getting started. OFFStage is proud to present Vaughn Phoenix.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Take a break. wonderful life. Take a load off, brother. You should ease your mind. Take a load off, brother. Maybe you should dance a while. 'Cause when you find the heart of a child, you feel this love all around. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Here we go. I know, I know, I know, I know what you're thinking, yeah. About those bills you've gotta pay. Can't hardly get a break from that crazy day to day. But you gotta kick, push, move it forward. 'Cause the season's changing with or without you, so don't let it pass you by and miss this wonderful night. Take a load off, brother. You should ease your mind. Maybe you should dance a while. 'Cause when you find the heart of a child, you feel this love all around. Whoa, can't you feel it? Love is all around. Hey, sing it again. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Love is all around. Let's go right here, Stro, and oh, 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 oh. Hey, said the world's so much brighter